Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session that was created for a client that would have symptoms of vertigo, so this kind of intense dizziness, feeling that she could fall or topple over. And it was mainly triggered by a feeling of intense anxiety and overwhelm. And there was some anti-anxiety medication that she would use that would help. And what was interesting is that the anti-anxiety medication would help immediately, even though the medication would take at least maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to actually hit the bloodstream. And what that told me is that what actually made the difference is the placebo effect of believing that by taking the medication that would have some kind of an impact. It was a feeling of being in control. But because the act of doing that actually made the vertigo and some of the symptoms of anxiety disappear immediately, it let me know that mainly this was a psychological rather than a physiological issue. So what you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is regression to a time in her life that she was very resourceful, calm, and confident, even though she was in an overwhelming situation, the kind of situation that would have triggered her vertigo in the present, but it didn't in the past. That was the resource state. And then there's a technique that positions the actual solution of stress and anxiety as something she could do immediately, even more immediately than reaching for some anti-anxiety medication. And Andrew Huberman, who has Huberman Lab podcast, an excellent podcast, talks about the physiological sigh. And it's this kind of double inhale followed by a long exhale that releases stress immediately, and lots of evidence to support that. So what I talk about in this session, to make it nice and simple and easy, is just a long sigh. And that long sigh is linked to lots of hypnotic suggestions designed to alleviate stress and anxiety rapidly. So two things going on here. One, the resource state, and secondly, a coping strategy. And the coping strategy is designed that if anxiety does start to, let's say, appear, there's an immediate way to shut it down before it escalates. And quite often there can be almost like a domino effect that something small then triggers a chain reaction that becomes something big. So the long sigh is a way to act more like a stop loss, like an immediate way to stop the toothpaste coming out of the tube rather than dealing with it when it's already there. So there's a few things going on here, but it's really useful if you have intense anxiety, intense stress, and that has physiological symptoms. If you are struggling with anxiety or intense stress and you feel like you would want to work with me directly or at least explore that, there will be a link in the show notes to book a free 30-minute consultation call to explore working with me. But you might find that this session is helpful, albeit that it was created for someone else. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation and calm. And as you exhale, Just allow any feelings of worry or stress to feel like it's melting away and leaving your body in that outward breath. Feel your eyelids becoming more and more relaxed. So relaxed that they can just melt away any tension. Because there are tiny muscles in the eyelids. And you don't even think about using those muscles every time you blink, every time you squint your eyes. But here, now, with your eyes closed, no tension is required. So release any tension around the eyelids, around the eyebrows. I want you to feel that relaxation is spreading into your forehead, down your temple into your jaw, that even muscles you're not aware of are starting to relax. There's tiny muscles around your ears, around your nose, but really focus on the muscles in your neck and your jaw. Feel your jaw loosening, feel it become slack. As you imagine your jaw almost like a hammock between two palm trees, feeling deeper and deeper relaxed. When you breathe in and breathe out, every now and then there's a need to swallow. And you can notice that because you're more relaxed, the breathing is more effortless, swallowing perhaps more noticeable. Continue to breathe in and breathe out, releasing that tension, feeling the tension leave your body as your neck and your shoulders melt away any feelings of tension, enabling you to feel wonderfully relaxed. That's it. Arms and legs feeling limp, loose and heavy. And there's been times in your life that you felt wonderfully relaxed. Maybe a time in a holiday vacation, maybe a time you were having a relaxing massage, maybe a time that you fell asleep outside. Allow your mind to take you to those different places of deep relaxation so that it becomes easier and easier for you to completely relax. That's it. Breathe in and breathe out. And I want you to remember a time when you dealt with a challenge in a resourceful and relaxed way. Maybe it was years ago in a European city, or maybe it was a different time. But think of a time when you handled a difficult, challenging situation with ease, in a relaxed, confident, calm way. Go back and observe that version of you. That even though there were challenges, you handled it well. No stress, no worries, no anxieties. Just a pragmatic approach to deal with a challenging situation. I want you to observe that version of you being so resourceful, so relaxed, and just mimic how they breathe. Maybe slowly from the diaphragm. See how relaxed the muscles in their arms, jaw and neck are. Just mimic that relaxation. The pace of their breathing, slow and steady. And when you're convinced that they are incapable of being stressed and overwhelmed in this moment, then step into them. So you feel how they feel all the way back then. Notice how you're breathing. Notice the tonality of that inner dialogue. Practical, calm, focused on solutions, not problems. And notice that in this place, it's impossible for you to feel dizzy or overwhelmed. Your legs feel strong and steady and rooted on the ground. Even if there was a big wind, nothing would make you topple over. You feel strong and rooted. And I want you to feel where in your body you feel this resourceful state. Maybe your chest, your heart, maybe somewhere else. But imagine a color there expanding. And maybe there's a phrase that you can say in a confident tonality just inside your own mind that makes you feel that you're in control. And maybe it's just a phrase like, I've got this. I'll be fine. Everything's okay. Whatever word seems to resonate with you is exactly the right one. And then feel that you're in this resourceful, powerful state. And I want you to imagine that you're now teleporting to your current reality, what we can call the present time. But you're teleporting with this resourceful state, breathing calm and confidently, feeling strong, feeling composed, feeling rock steady. And I want you to find a place in your current reality that represents a place of safe relaxation, maybe a sofa, maybe a bed, maybe a place to relax, and just imagine that you're in that place. Breathing in and breathing out, feeling even deeper relaxed. And I want to put a seed of an idea in your mind that sometimes medications work, not because of the medication, but because we have a belief that they will be helpful. Some people call it the placebo effect. Or you can just consider it having faith, having a conviction that you're doing something that will help, and the belief that it helps is actually what creates the help. So I want you to consider there might be something even more effective to immediately release any feelings of tension, stress, or anxiety within seconds. And we can call this the long sigh. So take a deep breath in, and on the outward breath, just sigh. And notice that how quickly tension can go away. That if there are anxious thoughts, you can release them. And I wonder what would happen if the long sigh was used as a way to immediately release stress and tension and anxiety the moment you notice it. Because the moment you notice it is the earliest that you could do anything anyway. You can't fix a leak before you know there's a leak. So therefore, the long sigh becomes a natural thing to do the moment you notice what could cause a chain reaction, a domino effect to something more intense. So as you breathe in and breathe out, open your mind to the possibility that every time you take a long sigh, becomes a powerful signal for your body and mind to enter a state of profound relaxation. With each sigh, you'll find yourself descending into a tranquility more potent than any anti-anxiety remedy. Imagine the relief that a sigh brings, magnifying its power to wash away any lingering tension or unease. And you can think that your sigh acts as an internal switch, effortlessly transporting you to a sanctuary of calm within. And try it now, breathing in and sighing out, and as you sigh, every cell in your body receives the message to release and relax. The simple act of sighing amplifies your innate ability to find balance and calm. Every sigh is a reminder that you have the power to transform moments of tension into moments of peace. With each sigh, just imagine anxiety melting away, leaving a pathway for relaxation and serenity to flood in. And you can let every sigh act as a wave, washing away concerns and immersing you in a sea of tranquility. Your long sigh is like a protective barrier, effortlessly deflecting anxiety and welcoming in calm. Let's try it now. Breathe in and sigh as you release. And as you release a sigh, you're also releasing any burdens, feeling lighter and more at peace. Use your imagination to imagine every sigh as a key, unlocking a state of relaxation more profound than you've ever felt before. There are no side effects of a long sigh other than enhanced relaxation, more oxygen, and activating powerful neurotransmitters that help your body relax even more. You can't overdose on a long sigh. So now, you are rewarded whenever you do it, but there are no downsides, only positive benefits. Each time you sigh, visualize anxiety's volume decreasing until it's a distant whisper, replaced by soothing calm. Your sigh has the transformative power to instantly ground and center you, no matter the circumstances. As you let out a sigh, it carries with it any lingering stress, leaving you in a state of pure relaxation. Every sigh serves as a reminder that you have a powerful tool within, more potent than any external solution, particularly medication. By simply sighing, you activate an inner reservoir of tranquility and peace. The act of sighing propels you into a sanctuary of calm where anxiety has no place. With each sigh, you're wrapping yourself in a blanket of comfort, shielding yourself from any external disturbances. And every time you sigh, you're harnessing an internal power that's more effective than perhaps even prescription medication. And I want you to now teleport yourself into the future. Imagine yourself feeling calm, relaxed, and resourceful. But imagine that you're in a challenging situation. You feel that you can handle it, but why not have that long sigh just to ensure you're in a relaxed, calm, confident state? Breathing in and just sighing on that long outward breath. That's it. You're developing a belief that you can cope with things that you thought you couldn't. And each and every time you do, gives you more and more evidence that you can indeed cope. Anxiety is like shadows. Action is like light. And every time you take action in that calm, resourceful way, anxiety becomes more and more elusive, more and more difficult to find, until one day you realize that anxiety is like a stranger, someone that you used to know, but doesn't speak to you very often anymore. If your unconscious mind is willing to access these resource states of the past and to use the long sigh as a tool to reduce any feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, or stress, the moment you notice them, just let me know by nodding your head. And now it's time to return to the present, but taking with you these resourceful states, these feelings of relaxation, and a feeling that you are more prepared and ready than you've been in a long time. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, feeling connected to your body in the present right now as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.